Welcome to Client Management Tools and Tips, an online CIC webinar. My name is Maria Winter and I'm from the education team, and I'll be taking you through this webinar today. The duration of this webinar will go for 30 minutes. My microphone is on and yours has been automatically muted. Your speakers must be on to hear this webinar. Today you will learn how to set up the client data you are collecting, how to use the merge tool, top client accuracy reports, and the importance of visit notes. The first thing that we're going to go into is the setup of the data you are collecting. So what I'm going to talk through is how you can customize that. So I'm going to jump out of this screen and I'm going to go into Shortcuts itself. So when you first make a booking and you press the new icon, this information here is what you can select. So if you don't want to collect home number, you can remove that. So an example would be, let's say we want to keep first name, last name, mobile, referral method, but we want to add the email address. So I'm going to show you how to customize that. This is on the quick option. You can also drop it down to detailed. In the detailed, this is the information that will also display on the iPad. So if you have your Shortcuts console set up on your iPads, you can be collecting the client information from the CIC. Once the client enters that information in, it will then synchronize back from the iPad into your Shortcuts Fusion program. So I'll go through the setup. So to get straight into it, you just go Setup, Configuration. Once you're in configuration, we just go down to the left-hand side to General, and it's just in the client icon to the left here. So once you're in the client tab, you'll see the 4 tabs up the top here. So I'm just going to go over to New Client Layout, and these options that are ticked under Quick is what you initially see when you first make a booking. The detailed, remember, is what will show up on the iPads on your client information cards. And you can also select specific fields to be mandatory as well. So I'm going to keep first name, last name. I'm going to remove home. I just want to collect mobiles. And I think it would be a great idea to try and collect email addresses. And referral methods, that's probably it for when I'm quickly making an appointment. For the detailed screen for the iPads, however, you can add a little bit more to that. So you can also select if they prefer a specific staff member, if you want to mark it to age groups, the date of birth as well. So if you do want to collect, the day, the month, the year, so you can go through all of that as well. Now this is all new down the bottom here. So this is all about the data, the data privacy. So basically you can select to have this on, so it gives your clients the options of ticking it on for them to accept to receive an SMS or an email or a phone call. Some people don't want to receive anything, so it just gives them that option to unselect it. Now, if you tick this on to show up on the iPad, once the client unselects not to say receive emails, that will then be removed from the Shortcuts program. So that will synchronize back into Fusion. Down the bottom here, you've also got the prompt, so you can automatically get prompt to pop up to accept the data policy when you're checking out your clients at point of sale. And you can also select they must have at least one name entered. So if you don't necessarily need to know first and last name, you can tick that on there. And also if, for instance, you might have some clients that might not have a mobile, you can tick this one on, so they must at least provide one contact number, whether it's mobile, home, or work number. So now that I've made those changes, I'm going to show you what that looks like in the quick screen. So if we go to make an appointment, we just go new, and you can see here first name, last name, mobile, email, and referral method has now come in. You can go down to detailed, and this information is what's going to show up on the iPad. So I'll show you what that looks like. So when you're going on to the iPad, this is the screen you'll see. So you'll see the PIN screen. Now you just have to pop your PIN number in on the iPad, and it will take you through to the clients that you have booked in. Now, if my client just arrived, what I would do is I'd press client mode. And it's just a standard client information form. These other forms are an option if you do have customized forms. So whatever my client enters into here will save directly into my shortcuts program. So if I pop in some details, stand, and I pop in a date of birth. I guess the main purpose of trying to collect as much information as possible is so you can get the best out of your marketing. So the main purpose of this webinar today is obviously the more information you get from your clients, the more you're going to get out of it. So your marketing definitely does depend on the information that you have. Another big thing here is your salon database is the biggest asset of your business. So if you are, if you ever do sell, it is a really big asset to have as much client information as possible if you do sell that with the business as well. So my clients just completed all the information. So the only thing I added in was my address. So if I press done, I'll pop in my email address. Okay, and then I press done. Once that saves, the pin screen will then lock it. So basically, if the client has the iPad, it will then go back to lock screen so they can't then see anyone else's information. So it's all secure. If we now go back into shortcuts and I look up that client that's booked in this afternoon down here, Marie White, double click, I go to her card, you'll see that the address has updated straight away in here with my email address. So it automatically synchronizes, which is awesome. Once I've collected all the information that the client does want to provide, so I've got the birthday, which is great for my marketing campaigns. I've got her email, her mobile, her address. I then can tick card complete. So by ticking card complete, that means that client card is now all done and all complete. So if I press save and done, that little icon has now disappeared. So if you have not completed the card, it will have that little white eye icon. So as soon as you've collected all that information, it's just card complete. The main purpose for that is so you know each time they come in, which client card has now been complete and you've got as much information as possible. There is a really good report, which I'll go through towards the end of the webinar to show you the best client data reports. So that's the main setup for collecting information when they're making an appointment. And also, if you don't have an iPad in store, you can use your paper forms, your laminated forms to update the information. You just double click on the client and go to card, and you can simply type it in here. When you add a new client in as well, the opt-in details are going to automatically be defaulted for the client to receive marketing via SMS, marketing via emails, and so forth. If they do not want to receive anything, it is a manual thing. You do have to come through and just unselect it. Once you've done that, just press save, and then that will save all those changes for you. Okay, so that's gone through all of the setup and how that configures through from Fusion, which is Shortcuts Fusion here, onto your online forms. The next thing I'm going to show you is the client merge feature. So if, for instance, I'm going to make an appointment and I start typing in someone's name, maybe before searching, I go to add them in. If they're already in my system, what happens here is it's going to bring up that it may be a duplicate entry. So it's asking me to resolve that. So what I can do is I can either select keep this client, or I can merge with an existing client. So it will merge all that information here all together. So all I'm going to do is tick merge and then done, if it is the same client. Once you do that, that merges that data together. I guess the main purpose for that is it will just help keep your database clean so you don't have a lot of double ups. The next thing I'm going to show you is something that you could do on a regular basis, whether that's monthly, whether that's every 3 months or every 6 months, is a client merge, a full database client merge. So to do that, you just go into clients and you press merge. And all you do is you press search to the bottom left. And you can match your clients on first name, last name, and even mobile too. You can range the scan from 0 to 3 months or 3 to 6. Once you've selected what you would like to match on and scan to, you just press search here. And it's just told me there has been one client that could possibly be a duplicate client. So if I press done, so basically what I need to work out is which client is the master. So I just have to tick which one is the master client based on their last visit. So you can see the fields up here. So you can see you've got master, merge. You can also identify on phone number, email address, when they were last in, and also their first visit. So if you ever want to adjust what you can see on this top bar, you can right click and you can just right click and select on the field you would like to add in, and then that just adds it in. So future bookings there. Number of visits, so you can see how many times I've been in, and clubs. So now that I've got as much information as possible here, I can see when their last service was. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tick it on to the master, and I'm going to press merge, tick merge there, and press merge down the bottom. This will always prompt up, and basically it's just letting you know that please ensure all master client cards are up to date before proceeding. Number 2 here is client merge should only be performed outside business hours. So I guess the main reason for that is if you had a whole list of clients to merge, you could have up to 50 or 100 if it's been a while since you've done this. And it can take a little while for that to load through, merge them all. And then what happens once it's loaded through, it then reboots your computer. So I would hate for that to restart in the middle of a really busy day. So try and choose a time of the day where it's not too crazy in your business. So from here, I'm just going to press yes, it merges it together. And then what happens is it reboots it and it closes it down. So now all I'm doing is I'm going to restart it, and then those clients that I merged will now be in the one client card. So that's the client merge tool. The next thing I'm going to show you is the visit notes. So you can see here all of these clients that have processed a sale. When you're writing notes in, you just double click on the card and you go into history. You can select on the day that you're writing the note, and then you just press new and you write your note in here. So you might say firm pressure if it was like a massage, and then done. And then you'll be able to see here the notes will be saved against the staff member who's logged in with the date and the time. I guess the main purpose for writing notes is when that client then reschedules for another massage or body scrub, you'll know exactly what pressure she wanted, if she purchased any products, what service she had. It's also important, maybe she does want to see the same therapist as well as next time. So it's really good to be able to store your notes. If you try and do it day by day, then it won't build up. You can also print off a CPC if you're managing client by client. So a CPC is basically a print off of this client card, so the client's name, what they're booked in for, what time it is, and who it's with. So it gives your staff a resource to use to write in their visit notes. They can also use it as a tool to sell because it will also say what services they have had and any products they have purchased as well. A few things in here. You've got also, if you are a clinic, you may have the treatment tool. So if you were doing a facial treatment, you may want to mark the skin of where you've done extractions, or if you've done Botox or filler. So that's also a really good way of just keeping your notes in there as well. With that feature as well, you can assign it to a product. So if you do have both, you do have your injectables or your filler, you can assign it so it minuses off your stock levels as well, per unit or per mil as well. Okay, so we're going to be moving through to some reports now. So the top reports in Fusion, I'll go through first. So in reports, and we go over to the clients. Now each report in here, if you're not quite familiar with all of them, you will notice that each report has a description over to the right here. So the first report I'm going to show you is the client card accuracy. So this report will break down how much data you have based on if the card is complete, do you have their mobile number, do you have their email address. So all I'm going to do is press view. This report does not require a date range. Now this percentage is out of 100. So out of 100%, I have 85% email addresses, or I have 91% birthdays. So you can see the data there. It also breaks down the field here. So if you are working towards collecting more mobile numbers or more email addresses to make your marketing more effective, what you can do is you can dig deeper into this report by clicking onto details to the right. And this will list all of the clients that do not have an email address in the system. So what you can do is print this off and slowly work through the list. You might even make a few clients inactive as well, just to clean up your database. You can just press over the next one over just to see how many pages it is, because if it's been a while since you've updated your client cards, you may have a few pages, so I'd hate for you to print off 50 pages. Now, if you do want to print this list of clients with no email addresses, don't press print down the bottom here. Big tip, press it up the top here. The main reason for that is if you were to press print here, it will actually print the graph. It will print this report here instead of the detailed part. So that report, just to refresh you, is just in Tools, Reports, and it's under Clients, and it's called the Client Card Accuracy. So if you're really wondering why your marketing isn't reaching enough people, or you're feeling like you want to try something different like SMS marketing, have a look at the client card accuracy report to see what data you have that you can work with. The next report is just below, so it's the client's demographic report. So with this one, this breaks down the demographics by the age group, gender, suburb. You can even look at occupations as well if you do collect that. So to view this, I'm just going to select on it and press view down the bottom. And where you can change the parameters is just by clicking on the value here, and you can select, maybe you want to see what suburbs your clients live in, or you want to see the age group. So select the field, then press view, and this will tell you how many percent of clients are in that certain age group. It will also list a number of clients that are in that bracket as well. So if you have anti-aging treatments, you could really target, a certain age group in here and really push for those facials or skincare products just by looking at this report, and you can target it in your GCAS marketing. With the age group demographic, that's just in the client card and it's under information. Once you're in info, you'll be able to see the age group here. Now, what happens is the birthday is based on obviously you putting it in or on the iPad. The age will update, but the age group won't. So as soon as you notice that they have gone to a different age group, you just need to adjust it. And that's just all in the client card. So those are the main reports for client data in the Fusion program. So I'm going to jump out of this. And I'm going to show you a few cool reports in your GCAS. So if you have GCAS marketing, this will be quite familiar to you. So this is the GCAS platform. It's a third-party platform that synchronizes your client data from this web browser into your Shortcuts program. So as soon as you add a client into Shortcuts, it synchronizes back to here automatically for you, which is cool. So the reports are just in reports and statistics. You've got a few reports here. So again, you've got demographic overview and you've also got some specific reports. So this report here, you can generate it. This will tell you the gender, and it will tell you the amount and the percentage here. It goes into age groups, it goes into states. And the most important one on this one is also the birthday. So do you collect the month of birth? It's really important if you are setting up birthday, like email marketing. If you don't have the date and the month, it will not be effective. So just keep an eye on the month of birth as well. The next report I'm going to show you is return on investment. With this report, you can select a date range. So I could go from the 1st of August till the end. I can then press generate. And then you can also see here all of the clients that are in your system. So you've got members in the database. You've also got the difference here between members in the database and then members with actual email addresses as well. It will tell you how many campaigns you have set up and if it's got a promotion code. And it will also tell you how many's been sent, delivered, and open, bounce backs as well. So with bounce backs, there's a number of reasons why it doesn't go through. So it could be maybe their email address or their account is inactive. Maybe their email inbox is completely full, so it's just bouncing back. Or it just goes in and it bounces back and it will send you that email to say that it hasn't reached them. It could be incorrect as well. So when they do come in, if you do use the iPad for client forms, it's a good way to just update it and just make sure you do have the right data. Next one over is clicks. So if you have any links on your on your emails about social media like Facebook, Instagram, websites, this will list the number of clicks that you are receiving as well. So it's a really good report. The next one I'll show you is the opens per hour. So this is a really cool one. So you can select based on all campaigns, which is showing you here, which will go up and down once they've opened them. Otherwise, you can look at specific emails in here. So with specific emails, it will just show you the stats based on that one. Now, because this is a demo one, it doesn't go up and down, but basically, if I sent my email out at 9 a.m., you will see that rise a little bit because people may open it straight away, but you will then see it go up and down depending on how many clients open it at lunchtime or after work or after dinner time. So this will tell you what is the most popular time to send them based on your clients opening the actual email, which is really cool. So the reports I've just gone over is the overall statistics, the return on investment, and also the open rate as well. So they're the main reports in your GCast program. So we'll go back to the slideshow now through how to maximize the client data you are collecting, how to customize the data you collect, how to use the merge feature, the top client accuracy reports, and the importance of visit notes. If you need to get in contact with shortcuts, you can contact our customer care team. So we've got the email address for customer care and also the 1300 number. If it's more technical and you need any technical support, you can always contact our support team either by email or feel free to contact the 1300 number as well. Thank you for listening to my webinar today, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.